Hello everybody and welcome to the Chris Chan weekly update for the week of whatever week it is. It is early February, which is Christian Love Month, of course, in the year 2021. We're gonna start today on Chris's Twitter. We start with a fan comic, or maybe a critique comic, by Twitter user Miss Simone Lapliskin 98. They @ Chris Chan and say, "Sonichu, please get your mother." A comic by Mr. Simplest 1. We have a little robot guy knocking on the door. Sonichu answers. He says, "Yes. Could you please get your, quote, mother again?" Sonichu's like, "Oh no, not this again." Meanwhile, at the Quickville Mall, Sonichu's leaning over a husk of a man and says, "Come on, Mom, let's go home." Robot guy's like, "Chris needs serious help, Sonichu." And Sonichu's like, I know. Chris doesn't like this. Chris does not need help. Her mental health is overpowered and healthy. Why do you all decide to employ one of Namgi's? Why do you all decide to employ one of Namgi's robot rejects to send this message? Again, just speaks volumes. We appreciate your genuine concerns and all. Just pray to Chris if you want to speak to her. Okay, so if you're one of the Twitter reply guys underneath one of Chris's tweets and you just tell him to get a job all day, just pray to him and he'll listen to you. Sonichu once again posts a picture that he drew last week. As you can see, this is Sonichu's body, but from the blue aura in the background, you can tell that this is actually Chris's soul possessing Sonichu. He says, "She is still in my body, but she can still hear all of you from this universe. Here." We get some more fan art. This time it's someone who's a little less critical of Chris, this of course being Sonichu. "I am Pikachu and want to become a prophet like my mom, but so far, no luck. I draw, but right now, I am training physically. I enjoy drawing and creating reality. If you see it, you have to share and add your introduction." And here's a drawn selfie. And Chris says, "Nice job on your part. Keep your training and meditating up. You will do very well along with the rest of us." I know for a fact that Chris actually meditates because he talks about it, and there's like pictures and videos of him doing it, like he's just sitting there and thinking. But does Chris really train physically? Does he do any physical exercises? And I'm not doing this to like fat shame him or anything. I literally mean, does he do something that he believes will increase his physical strength? Does he punch one of those boxing punchy guys? I don't think so. I've never seen any evidence. If you know evidence that he does, then please let me know, because I think he's being a little bit of a hypocrite right now. This girl sells some custom stone rings, and Chris is like, "Kinda caught me off guard that you wore the stone on the rings on the underside of your fingers." As you can kind of see from this picture here, the stone's on the underside, the inside. "Those stones must have been really flat or small to keep them there and comfortable like that. Because you can't bend your finger if there's a ring there. Did you guys know that if you're wearing a ring, it's possible that you have more bacteria underneath the ring than there are people who live in Europe? One of my friends has a fun fact calendar, and I learned that today. Isn't that so fun? The official G Fuel account posts, "I think this store is trying to tell me something." And there's a bunch of G Fuel stuff on the shelf, and Chris says, "Haven't found the G Fuel energy in the Charlottesville or Ruckersville Walmart yet." Don't worry, Chris, they're gonna get right on that. At G Fuel Energy, "I have been enjoying the energy, 1 can per day, and staying hydrated with more than 101.4 ounces of filtered water on the rocks." I love that expression. I love that expression. "Within the glace bottles." In case you don't know, Chris Chan has a special water bottle. I believe, don't quote me on this, this comes from Gwyneth Paltrow's Complete Insane Crazy Cat Lady web store, where you buy like healing crystals and special candles and stuff. So yeah, it's a water bottle with a quartz crystal inside. So when he says water on the rocks, which is a funny enough expression as it is, he does not mean water with ice. He means water that has a rock, in this case, a quartz crystal, submerged in it to purify it and give him special powers. Really good stuff for meditating as well. Although, I wish more energy drink brands employ the plastic tab. You know what they say, a G Fuel energy a day keeps the doctor away. Also, during the heavy meditate hour today, we have mind linked with everyone, and I showed them around the highlights of the full Earth in C197. Quickville included, obviously. We even visited Dr. Strange, met Discord, Mary Sue and Gary Stu, Scrooge McDuck, and so on. I don't know what he means by "and so on" there, because, okay, Dr. Strange, got it, he's mentally strong, psychic guy. Discord, Mary Stu, Gary, Sue, whatever their names, those are My Little Pony things, and they're all very powerful. I get it. I don't know how Scrooge McDuck fits in with them. He's not psychically powerful. He's not a My Little Pony. I don't know what he means by and so on. This guy is redrawing Sonichu, and he's redrawing an origin page, and Chris says this guy's head looks like a strawberry. For once, he's not critiquing the artwork. He says, that's not bad-looking strawberry head. Chris seems to be in a very nice, good mood, because this person's asking Chris what they think of their Sonichu OC, Nicola Rosechew, and Chris says, really cool. Alright, you might remember a couple weeks ago, there was that Vaughn guy, and they manipulated Chris into sending very creepy Twitter DMs to people. And Chris tried to turn this on his head and said that it was a foreseen event that had to happen. Despite this, Chris then attacked Vaughn on Twitter, even though he apparently knew it was happening the whole time. It's nonsense. Chris got tricked again. And in his anti-Vaughn rant, he said, Chris was just trying to take care of Barbara and living day to day without hurting anyone else, aside from her being destined to become a literal goddess and everything. But hater people like that guy, he's talking about Vaughn, he has a job at a Virginia vineyard and travels around, has a family who he neglects for his big-breasted wolf waifus. Why was he so interested in trolling us? Dumb neat he was. Well, Vaughn responded and said, word soup, my favorite, yummy. And that's because Chris is spouting nonsense as usual. It's actually pretty easy to understand what he meant, but yeah, Chris's manner of talking is, of course, very off-putting to new readers. So Chris responds, and this isn't actually this is not the account that we normally read from. This is from Chris's other Twitter account that has not been used since 2019. This is the one that he got banned from. That's the one that he got blocked by all of the My Little Pony YouTubers on, so he has not used that in a very long time. So on that account, he says, oh, you like word soup, huh? Well, how's this for some words? Your little stunt is child's play, neat. We're done with you. Your punishment is being served to you. You did this to yourself, dude. Suffice to say, you should have appreciated your blessings. I like this guy. Google the definition of neat. Larry Vaughn responds, child's play, and yet you went along with it. Think about that. And Chris says, did I, though? Yes. Yes, he did. Oh, yeah, Abel speaks up. Yeah, you did. The fact that you let this happen proves that you don't have the ability to see into the future. You have shown no proof that your predictions come true, and you just wait until something happens and then say you saw it. Anyone can say that. Chris doesn't like this response, and he says, you are about to get punched in the gut around your root and or sacral chakra points around the time you read this. So Chris's prediction, using his psychic goddess powers, because he is an all-loving, glorious goddess that you should worship and pray to, is that this person's going to get punched. What do you know? I just read this and nothing happened. Just like how your so-called merge isn't happening, no matter how many excuses you make up. Remember this the next time Chris says he's a good person, he just tried to psychically punch someone. Going back to Larry Vaughn, again, he said, you went along with it. Think about that. Chris says, did I though? Larry says, yeah, you did. You could have completely ignored me, but you and your prater chose not to, because y'all thought I was a rich Jewish person you could milk for moolah, and then you thought about getting a private investigator on my F you and your anti-Semitism. I don't know the background story about that, but this is getting juicy. Chris says, actually laughing out loud. Crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emojis. Maybe you fooled our friend, but that wine bottle you left at the temple was cheap like static. Listen, Danny boy, we all have foreseen your intentions, even before that faded rainy day gift. Boy, did that wet and smear the ink on the letters of yours. Okay, so the guy literally left a bottle of wine at Chris's house? Is that why Chris thought he works at a vineyard? I was reluctant for the while, because even though I knew that you were a lost ween who did not appreciate their life, wife, vineyard job, and so on, so you had thought to troll us with your lacking thoughts and ideas. The pickle jar left with that wine was a major dead giveaway too. I love this. I love this. This is a classic Chris story. It just keeps unfolding in such an amazing way. Yet Mewtwo, Magichan, and I all knew that you needed to be made a spectacle of due to your weenish desire for attention and wanting to decrease the blessing of another individual's life. I played along just to teach you that. I relayed your scat just to show you off. So again, Chris sent messages to Twitter not safe for work artists, and there were messages from this Vaughn Larry guy, and they were into this. Obviously, you were and are too thick-headed and blind to fully appreciate everything in your local area of this vast universe of yours. Be cautious not to respond any more after this, Danny boy, because you've done the damage to yourself. only to see me holding on to the metaphorical pen you wielded while you were writing out your lame ideas, and making sure you notice the backlash of the erroneous methods and ways you've utilized. Enjoy your Chipotle, dude. Talk about word soup. What on earth did any of that mean? Obviously, I don't agree with anything this Larry guy said, but he's about to say something that's actually, I think, kind of important. Hey, Caden, you're not fooling anyone by pretending to be Chris. It's become very obvious to everyone that you can't predict the future, Sonichu, as you aren't Christine, and only say you saw it after it happened. Praetor can't form a cult around you if you're a dumbhead. It's also very obvious that the two groups who attempt to protect you do an almost non-existent job at best. So those two groups would be the Praetors and the Watchdogs. The Watchdogs are a bunch of Kiwi Farms people, and the Praetors are people who live in Chris's local area who are making the Sonichu medallions that are currently up for sale on the Etsy store. They use your naivete to F with you in private. This much I know from my interactions with them. They were also under the impression that I was real, and that LA Non was real. And all those people I had you follow were part of it. All 80-something. Even when a sizable chunk blocked you off the bat because your past bad behavior that you don't apologize for. You're a village tyrant without a village. Addendum, in case anyone is wondering, Zero Macau, Dubmare, and Rogueman YT were not the only people Chris sent the Albert Fish one to. Other individuals received the same message, such as Pokimane and the Fancy Horse 1. Anyone Chris recently followed probably got one. So it was not just the main people that responded. He says that he sent it to about 80 people. He also apparently knows one of the Praetors' names, Caden. And he believes that because he was able to get close enough to Chris to give him the wine bottle and the pickle jar, that the two groups that are protecting Chris, the Praetors and the Watchdogs, are not doing a good enough job. Watchdogs, not dogs. Back to Chris. Hey y'all, during today's successful heavy meditate hour, we were able to further analyze the zombie and robot-like state this body can tend to get into as a backup. We had recently heard of the term from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Avatar state. For a few weeks, I had thought the term was inspired by another from long before this particular chronicling. But in comparing what this body and brain go through in that state, today and past, to what Aang goes through, I feel I can only concede to agree that what this body goes through is its own and advanced Avatar state. So is he saying that Chris only just watched Avatar for the first time? But in addition to those linked from the past, present, and future of your universe 1218, it accesses throughout all other timelines, universes, and dimensions as well. And the infamous early Chris Chan photo that was uploaded in 2007, that was a moment the body and brain was in the Avatar state. So you all ended up seeing it in the still moment in the photographs. That make-out session that shocked Christine herself into clocking out triggered this particular Avatar state. So Chris is saying, these are classic Chris Chan photos. So somebody who went to the local gaming store that Chris went to when they played Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and stuff, took this picture of Chris. This was back in the day when some of Chris's escapades were known about online, but some people didn't think he was real. So this guy who knew him took a picture of him. And obviously that's why it's a very blurry photo. Chris is saying that the reason that he acted poorly when he was at that LGS is because he would be triggered into the Avatar state and behave like a zombie or robot. Okay. He's just retconning his own life at this point. I know he does that a lot, but it's still scary every time he does it. Chris is playing with toys. Owu? Uwu. Okay, so this is some kind of animation that I don't want to have in my search results history. And Chris says, fourth wall break and crack at some furry fetish types. So I'm assuming the joke is at the expense of furry fetish types. But not all furries are creepy and bad like that. Still, really good meta humor. So he's complimenting this animation. So this guy, Acid Dragon. Oh god, he's discovered this person, Boss. I'm assuming they're the person who made the animation. Keep away from Vizipop, you Fiend. I'm guessing that's supposed to say fiend. So Vizipop. Whatever. I'm gonna call it Pop. Boss Pop. So this person doesn't want Chris to watch this animation or the creator. And Chris says, I'm not going to do anything to anyone. Stop with that assumption stuff. You say that, but in the past there was the Jule video, and you threatening people over stuff that was small. And may I remind you that you were so salty you pepper sprayed someone over Sonic's arm colors? I'm not going to do anything to anyone. That's total bull, lol. So now this person's commenting on Chris saying that not all furries are bad. With your track record, Chris, I think you find better association with the zoophiles. I mean, Lassie. Really? In case you're unaware, a zoophile is someone who actually wants to have sex with an animal, whereas a furry is a zoophile, because all furries are zoophiles, and they're all terrible people. And Chris says, whatever. And she says, ah, you admitted it, you creep. Nobody cares but you. Meanwhile, this got like 40 likes, significantly more than Chris's. And now we come to this. Netflix has announced a new Sonic the Hedgehog TV series. Yes, it's true. Sega's legendary video game icon Sonic the Hedgehog will star in a new 3D animated series from Sega, premiering on Netflix in 2022. So this is going to replace Sonic Boom. The old voice actor for Sonic and Amy actually retired. Now, obviously, Chris has been calling Sonichu Prime for a while, so this title is very reminiscent of that, and so Chris is going to respond, I heard this series was multiverse exploring. Good stuff. So yeah, it's only going to feed into his delusions just by pure coincidence. Guys, this might be the worst thing I've ever seen. So like I just said, that new show is called Sonic Prime. So this guy says, bad joke, lol, Sonic Prime, and it's an edit. Instead of Amazon Prime, it says Sonic Prime. Get it? Okay, yeah, it's just a very okay pun. And now we have Chris taking it extremely seriously. Yep, bad joke. Amazon is not a Sonic, Sonichu, or Rosechew company or affiliate at this time. This week just feels like classic Chris. I'm loving it. This is hilarious. Happy February, everyone. Welcome to the month that has a heart on each and every day, not limited to the 2nd, 14th, and the Lightning Bolt Hedgehog 24th. Be kind, supportive, and positive to each other. Do not hate. I'm looking at you all, hater fetish types and bullies. In case you aren't aware, February is Chris's birth month, so that's what that's all about. And then finally, Chris's last tweet for the week. He says, hey everyone, a new batch of first-run Sonichu medallions have been completed, and this batch has 30 that are personally signed, and these each include a certificate of authenticity. Coming soon, limited edition gold medallions. Pray tell, Chris, how is there a new batch of first-run Sonichu medallions? A new batch of first-run... Whatever. Don't care anymore. 275 sales, that's $25 each. That's about a gross of over $6,000. And it currently has 4.4 stars. Fantastic. I don't think I ever reported on this, but some of the medallions they burnt in their oven. They left them in too long, and so they sold them as special Wakanda edition Sonichu medallions, so that's fun. Why? Why would you do this? Simultaneously the worst and greatest thing I own. Bravo. Just please don't buy this. And that'll wrap things up for this week. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin. I just launched a new series, so there's Storytime with GiBi, which is going to be a new ongoing series where I basically just read stuff. And the first thing that I'm reading in Storytime with GiBi is SNT vs. Sonichu. That is the fan fiction that got Chris obsessed with SNT and the author of the fanfic, OpusCon789, who he is now rallying against. It's basically the new saga, his hatred of this troll, OpusCon. So make sure you watch that video and all the upcoming episodes. And I will see you next time.